How you doing? Scotty Bear back with another video. This video is about living in the moment. I've learned a lot about this. This isn't a very profound video. However, I need to kind of swap the subject matter a little bit. And we're going to replace it with cars. Now, I'm not a car person per se. I've owned some very, very, very nice cars in my time. One car in particular that I owned, this car was nice. I don't know why I bought this car, but it was a nice ass car. I drove it from Los Angeles to Oklahoma for $80. I had like an engine and a battery situation. The engine would charge the battery. Couldn't even feel it shift. I traded in a truck and a Toyota Camry on this car. Hated this car. The payment was too big. The car insurance was too high. Well, the only thing that was good about that car is it got great gas mileage. I remember when I had all my shit in that car, I pulled over the side of the road. I thought to myself, I'm never buying another car that I couldn't sleep in. Ended up getting rid of that car about 6 months later. Was glad to get rid of that car. I even got a ticket in that car. I don't think I've had more than 2 or 3 tickets in my whole life. Another car I loved a lot that was this emerald green Tahoe. My wife took it from me in a divorce. That and my cat, Fat Cobra. That car I liked. It's big. I owned that car when I was in Colorado. I used to like driving that car in the mountains. It was like taking the elevator to the top. It was just so smooth and powerful, and it's a nice car. The last car I had, that was probably one of the better investments in a car I've ever made. When I grew up, my dad, he used to tell me, Fords, found on road debt. That's what he used to say. I can almost visualize him saying that about that car. And I was car shopping. Because it's too much money to take my shit from one location. So I figured I'd buy a car, cheap car, something to move my crap. And then I ended up keeping that car for maybe 3 years. Had almost no trouble with that car. It was that Ford Taurus. I could hear my dad complaining about me buying that car. Even though he didn't even pay for it, he'd probably say something like, F that Ford. You know what I mean? Something. That was the most comfortable car to drive. I was shocked. Climb in the back seat, go to sleep. Comfortable drive long distance. I've had plenty of Chevys that wasn't even that. Like I had a Chevy Malibu once. Seats were hard. That Ford Taurus was like driving a couch. One of the most reliable vehicles I ever owned in my life. I've won a few vehicles. Won a Grand Am, a red Grand Am. Another vehicle, I didn't win it at a casino, but I purchased it. The next day I drove it to a casino, and then I won enough money to pay it off the next day. Took the money into the dealership and gave them the money. Another vehicle, some poker player at the World Series of Poker was trying to get some money to play cards and sold me a beat up Toyota Camry. I don't remember exactly what I paid for it, but I remember he was trying to get like $1,200 for this and car, and he had the title and everything, and I had like $600 in chips in my pocket. And he was like, hey, I'm trying to sell my car, trying to get $1,200. I had $1,200, but I only had 600 chips in my pocket, and I wasn't in the market for a car or anything, but he ended up goes, oh, I'll take it. So I ended up with a red Toyota Camry. I actually sold the car to Jeffy Poo for I think the same amount. It's an okay car. Again, I'm not a car person. Like I really don't really care what I drive. Never, other than the Chevy Tahoe. I mean, that was the thing about the divorce. I mean, we were finally getting into a phase where we weren't so broke. You know, Nathan was getting a little older. Not more than 6 months later, we're fucking divorced. After that, I was like, I ain't trying to buy any nice cars. Cost too much. Lose your ass on them. You're lucky if they hold together. They start driving like shit. You don't want to fix them. At some point, you just get rid of them. Maybe you crash them, have them fixed. But underneath, you know what happened. Had this old Chevy pickup. I kind of like that car. It was alright. You always remember back at the really good times or the really bad times when the car left you on the side of the road. Talking about these cars and stuff like that, the point behind that is sometimes the nicest car ain't the greatest. Sometimes when you don't expect it, you get a good car that you hold on to. That was the first Ford, the very first Ford. Never wouldn't even consider buying a Ford, just from the shame of my father alone, which I do not talk to my father and mother. I don't think I talked to my dad once, I think about 11 years ago now. And before that had to have been at least 12 or 14 years ago. So maybe a couple times in 20 years. My mom even less. Wouldn't even know these people if I passed them on the street. It's not about the cars anyway. My point behind that is, or these stories on cars, I've learned a lot in life about things changing, friends, married and stuff like that. Sometimes they feel like it's gonna last forever. Car always breaks down. You're always gonna get rid of it. So maybe you die in the car, right? You never know. At some point, it's gonna end. I remember when I left that Ford Taurus in Mexico, I was like, man, geez, thanks for all the great rides, It just felt like a car did me a solid. Also, I found out that I don't really need a car. Just a bad investment in general. Just take Uber. Just purchase as much as you need. Rent a car. If you feel like you need a car for a little bit, rent a car for a week. It'll jolt you into reality. But the good news is, you paid out the money for the week for the car. Take it back. You don't have to pay no more gas, no more insurance, no more nothing. Give that car back. Move on. Take a bus. Take a tricycle for $1. Move to Asia. Take a tricycle for $1. I'm gonna have many cars. Maybe I'll have another car. Maybe I'll get suckered in. Somebody will come by, offer me a car at a poker room. I don't know. Just a tough day is all. Always get reminded, if you can get yourself to a point in life where you can understand maybe things are wonderful, maybe things are horrible. If you can understand to, when you're driving down the road in that car, be happy that you're not on the side of the road. Pull over, go through the drive-thru, get yourself a Starbucks, and enjoy that car. Because maybe it won't be so great at some point. Maybe you'll get rid of it, crash it, get a ticket in it. Maybe somebody else will drive it. I don't know. Just enjoy the car until it's all done. I remember when they pushed that Ford Taurus right out the gate and down the street. I traded that car away for 9,000 pesos, Mexican pesos. Sad. Me and that car hung out during the pandemic. Got broken into. But never left me on the side of the road. And that's the name of the game right there. Live in the moment. Enjoy what you got. Maybe it's not the best car, maybe it's a Ford. Maybe it's a Ford. Maybe Fords are good. Maybe Fords are better than your dad says they are. Chevy Tahoe was nice, but I had a Chevy Malibu. The goddamn seats were hard as rocks. Couldn't drive that thing from Las Vegas to Tijuana without her ass killing you. Anyway, probably hear the rooster crowing in the background. It's been a long, not so pleasant night. Maybe we'll talk about something tomorrow. Was it Saturday night where you're at? Catch you on the next video.